So hi, Mike. On most conferences, actually the conferences after five hours are almost over, and now we are starting with the opening keynote right now. So what's wrong with JakartaOne?
Well, when you're having this many time zones, you have to try things differently, right?
Yeah, perfectly. So now let's start with the opening keynote and with the official start of the conference.
Well, thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. For those who don't know me, my name is Mike Milinkoivich. I'm the Executive Director of the Eclipse Foundation, and I'm very excited to be here, and I really want to welcome everybody who's been participating in the show so far. It's been a great event, and thank you so much for the organizing committee, the program committee, and everybody who's been involved in putting this together. As I'm sure you've seen from the announcements, today is an exciting day because it is the day that we are launching Jakarta EE8 set of specifications. And the reason why the slide says, "Welcome to the future of cloud native Java," is because we believe that these specifications, the implementations that are growing up around it, and of course, the community that has been built over the last couple of years is really the future of cloud native Java and how we're going to be bringing this technology forward. As a community, as a set of projects, as a set of specifications, and as an open source foundation. So we're obviously very, very excited to have reached this day. It's been an enormous amount of work. And but let's just talk a little bit for a second about what are we actually delivering here to the industry and to the community. So Jakarta EE8 delivers full compatibility with Java EE8. And that was, we've always had that goal in mind for the first release of Jakarta EE is let's get a release out there that has all of the same specifications and fully compatible with EE8 to make it as easy as possible for the vendors in the ecosystem to move over from Java EE to Jakarta EE. But the fact that we're developing fully open specifications that have been developed by a vendor-neutral open source foundation, I think is that's fundamentally the real news. That, along with the completely open source TCK license and process, is an enormous change for the community formerly known as Java EE, or the technology formerly known as Java EE. To have these specifications being done following open source processes. And I think it's very important to stress the value of having the TCKs being open source now, because everybody has access to these TCKs. Everybody who is interested in participating in this community can also participate in the TCK process. We're very excited that there's a number of compatible implementations that have already been announced, and we'll touch on that in a few slides. And then, of course, we are still continuing to support Java SE8 with this release. And so the platform integration requirements are the same as with this release. And finally, one of the things that we've done from a process perspective is to build a fully transparent branding process. And so everything that is happening in the open now, including all of the requests for branding and for certification. So a huge thank you to everybody who's been involved. There's been 18 member organizations participating in this. I just want to call out the fact that without the contribution of the Oracle development teams moving over Glassfish, the open source TCKs, helping get the specs done, we wouldn't be here today. Of course, others from IBM, Fujitsu, Red Hat, Tommy Tribe, Pyera, there's been enormous contributions from so many people and so many organizations to deliver 160 new committers to these various projects, establish 43 open source projects with 129 Git repos, built an enormous build infrastructure to test and validate all of this, to build, test, and validate all of this, and to have moved over almost 62 million lines of source code over the past really 18 months has been an enormous effort. So it's too many people to list everybody's names, but I really, from the bottom of all of our hearts at the Eclipse Foundation, thank you so much. So we are very excited to mention that we have two compatible implementations right from the very beginning. So Eclipse Glassfish and Open Liberty are available today. And we did this slide last night at 6 o'clock. And since then, we've already had a third. So Wildfly has also completed their process, and is now a fully compatible implementation of Jakarta EE8 as well. So when we said with more implementations to come, we really weren't expecting that 18 hours later we would be getting a third, but things are moving very fast, and welcome Wildfly to the Jakarta EE family. So what are we delivering here? We already talked about Jakarta E8, but looking forward to Jakarta EE9, some of the things that are on the table. We, as many people are aware, we're talking about what to do with the namespace and how fast we should move from Java X to Jakarta. Rehost on a more recent version of long-term support version of Java SE. Start talking about removing deprecated specifications and perhaps more. Now that we have demonstrated that we can deliver these specifications and that the platform vendors and the ecosystem are rapidly moving over to Jakarta EE, the time has come to start working towards Jakarta EE9, and we highly encourage everybody to get involved in making that a reality. So please get involved. As part of getting involved in the specification process, you need to become an Eclipse Foundation member. We are very interested in having enterprises become involved in the Jakarta EE working group because we feel that there's a real opportunity to have the consumers of these technologies now directly involved in its evolution. So we would really look forward to more participation in the Jakarta EE working group to make this as broadly based an effort as possible. Of course, we also have many individual community members involved as well, and we strongly encourage that also. So please participate in open source and the future of cloud native Java by involving yourself in the Jakarta EE working group and the Eclipse Foundation and moving this technology and these specifications forward. So once again, thank you very much and this is a proud day for so many people that have worked so hard to get us to this point. And we at the Eclipse Foundation are super excited that we've gotten here. And with that, I would like to introduce a video from our friend James Gosling, the original father of Java, who has some kind things to say about the future of Java now that Jakarta EE has shipped. So welcome to a taped broadcast by James Gosling. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, I will invite you to go to the next session, and we'll actually pull you in, but just want to make sure you don't miss it. And we will do and play James's recording. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next session.